Fixate on the Lord. Fixation, I had to say focus. And the focus, but fixation is a stronger word. So, fixate, it will be biswa, a chese, what the white journey, and attention, see at the end so. Now, be beer entry white journey in free so, and so you don't get distracted by anything around you. But what journey, any concentration, is at the end so. The definition of fixation is to acquire an obsession, attachment to someone or something. And to say, what gene will focus and it will be a society chronoso. Be anywhere, what gene if we so. And see a cast of fixate on the Lord that is a what gene and it will susu yenina enkusi eradeso. And see, and pay me exhortation. Yebehwe stories mienu bi a ewo twosem no mu na yebehwe obereme bi a na dwene ni nsusu ye nyina ene ne focus nyina na attention nyina abre nyina na esi erade so na sa oberema no na all the time no get fixated on the Lord na onyankopon enim se sa oberema no eye fixated on him enti no na odenu etu no ho enti anopei ye befa e draw no ne yahwe scripture bi ewo Job chapter 1 verses 8 to 22 na ye kan wi a ye betwa so chapter 2 verses 6 and 7. Then the Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him on the earth, a blameless and upright man, one who fears God and shuns evil?" So Satan answered the Lord and said, "Does Job fear God for nothing?" Verse 10 will say, "Have you not made a hedge around him, around his household, and around all that he has on every side? You have blessed the work of his hands, and his possession have increased in the land." Verse number 11. "But now stretch out your hand and touch all that he has, and he will surely curse you to your face." And the Lord said to Satan, "Behold, all that he has is in your power. Only do not lay a hand on his person." So Satan went out from the presence of the Lord. Verse number 13. Now there was a day when his sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in their oldest brother's house. And a messenger came to Job and said, "The oxen were plowing and the donkeys feeding beside them, when the Sabaeans raided them and took them away. Indeed, they have killed the servants with the edge of the sword, and I alone have escaped to tell you." Verse 16. While he was still speaking, another also came and said, "The fire of God fell from heaven and burned up the sheep and the servants and consumed them, and I alone have escaped to tell you." Verse 17. While he was still speaking, another came and said, "The Chaldeans formed 3 bands, raided the camels and took them away. Yes, and killed the servants with the edge of the sword, and I alone have escaped to tell you." Verse 18. While he was still speaking, another also came and said, "Your sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in their oldest brother's house, and suddenly a great wind came from across the wilderness. It struck the 4 corners of the house, and it fell on the young people, and they are dead, and I alone have escaped to tell you." Verse 20. Then Job arose, tore his robe, and shaved his head, and he fell to the ground and worshipped. 21. And said, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked shall I return there. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. In all this, 22, no say, in all this, Job did not sin nor charge God with wrong. Me pamacho ye to also what chapter 2, verse 6 and 7. Verse 6, no say, and the Lord said to Satan, behold, he is in your hand, but spare his life. So Satan went out from the presence of the Lord and struck Job with painful boils from the sole of his foot to the crown of his head. Amen. In the story of Job. Nana in so say Job na what's ne papa. Nana Job neni esi irade so pa na nyakopon so no onim se Job eni esi no so na wonye bone enti na nyakopon ede no boaboa no ho. Nana enam se Job was fixated on God enti no na nyakopon enim se wobetimi so ne obonsam etunchia ewo Job ho a enya ade a Job ebidi ne hwamo. Enti se predicament wo sa ho hie wo sa maniu ena obonsam ebetie ku Job akwan mu kura na onim se Job begina ne die mu. Job di ne besi ono Awurade so na won kasa entia ono Awurade. Enti mobisa obonsam se na wo hu me ba Job makoa Job wo hu nana no se ai na se Job de wehira no obonsam se na se Job de wehira ne nsa no adwuma wehira na yemoa wehira ne fie wehira ne ma enti beden na wonye faithful ema wo beden wondi no kure ema wo nenso na Awurade no wonim na koa Job ne enti no wode ne hye obonsam nsa okata se obetimi de wonsa ka ne bibia na emom emfa wonsa enka ne kra na ye nyina ye nim story no yenim se ne Job ne niema fiase se da krope ne niema bebre say se onya report ese this batch asaya oni podi report na ba ye na no si na ofoforo di echire na obema na bad news ono so no si na ofoforo di echire na obema na bad news at the extent say olusu bi pia rather hope including ono anemma edan ebu onemma na nyina mu no Job ankasa ntia Awurade da o fixate we Awurade so ordinary ne renyi na si Awurade so ne renyi na hye Awurade mu na joye ya ne se usunsuan na tare mu no reni tiri hu no osori Awurade no ka se adejemu ena oba wiase na adejemu no obesan yakop eyeme efia ena eniema se yatumi akama no demu me bobruna dwadwa kese me kansama kese kamekasa na ka tsira so no makasa te etia Awurade ebia na wo so otise me ensusu Job die nani da so nyina ne Awurade wo hwe Awurade wo hwe nchenchen wo ma bibi distract no enti wankasa nchire antia Awurade na wanye bone. As if that was not enough, obonsam assigned say painful boil pompa eya efri ne tiri so ekosi ne nase ni nyina mu no Job ankasa ntia Awurade da do ye ne se ordinary esi Awurade so he fixated on the Lord. Na Job story no de me pese ye fa wo mo ene say in Job ne predicament na wo mo ni nyina no he never made sense of what was happening to him. He never tried to make sense of what he was going through. Because in Nipenisuno, it will make no sense. Dena to Job no. Nyase bi arenim. Inti Job wan pese ube hwehwe nyansa ewo de ekoso ewo na brabo mu no. If you say it doesn't make sense, say that ba kope na wa yemmo nyina akọ wonko nyina akọ womma nyina akọ. It doesn't even make sense. Nyase bienim odwene ho a nyase bienim. Enti Job wan pesa wo beto esuko wo ne predicament no se wo pe mu nyansa se ade ekoso ide nyansa be ne wo wan pesa wo pe mu nyansa enam se wo ye ni penti no wo hunu mu nyansa so na mom awrade de na nyansa ewo mu ema no enti se yekọ ahohiehie mu anase asamoto yenya ase Christopher no ya mama me ye empe asem no mu nyansa efise ye nipa ye nyase bia emfiri de eto ye no mu ema yen nanso so ono awrade de nyansa ewo mu ma no ba de wo se ye ya ne se wo se ye twi ya dwene nyina mum ekogina awrade so. We have to fixate on the Lord and stop making sense of our predicament. If we say, ye nipa, ye predicament no, ye pemunyansa, ye hunu, we won't get it, we won't find it. It makes sense to us. But ono eradinity, it makes a lot of sense. Inti emfa to ho bi say, ebia we adwuma wo baby. Na baby a we adwuma no wo bo homode pa wo adwuma no mu weni eda fom ewo adwuma no adwuma no wo ye ni yie e bia ye kase ye yi enipa miensa wo mu ye very good wo adwuma no mu a bia na wo din wo mu bi enso so behwe na akoba ne se wo se ye yi ni pedi list ne baaye no na wo din ka ho bi wo be bisa ho se what sense does it make? Nyansa ben na ewo de ekoso yimu nyansa nim ese obi a wo bo wo homoden pa bi kwa waje edwuma no mu abasobo na ensoso ye yi ni pedia na wo na ye yi wadi nyansa bie ni mu kasa bo dwene ho a wo hunu mu nyansa bia na enso ne rade de na nyansa wo mu ma na papa eti se asam to yenya mama me ye empress ye be asem na ayeto ye no emunyansa ye nipa onu ane hihya aware na edu se wo be ware no weyi obema amawo anase weyi ohukafo amawo na waware kama bibia kwaso kama endi na ahe na sebe oduma nkoma ewu na abefa oba akoko wodwene ho a nyansa bie ni mo nyansa bie ni na so rade de nyansa wo muma no enti se asem bi sa to yenya eni se ye pre se ye kope emunyansa efri se ye nipa ye munyansa na wo mu no amane munyansa ya na nipa ye kokope se asem ebebeto yenya enu ene twetwe yen ekobonim mesanka ne biom se enyansa ye peno ewo asema eto yen no eno ena ya etwetwe yen ekobonim etubo se wo bedwene na wadwen atsra so ne fedie obonsam esa na ekwanya beda ho ama obonsam e the ideas e bewuregura yetirim aden ena wonkonko busamu aden ena wonko osofo bi ho na wonko hwese obema wo akwankyere aden enti na wonko prophet bi ho na wonma wo efrade say prophecy even wonma etwa ye ho ahia na wonma hu say asebi atoyen na asem no wodwene ho a wonte ase no womo kura no mo the ideas wurawura wutirim wase ade ye eto wi de nye normal no enti minim baby ma memfa wonko na kokobusamu ana se bi di musofo bi ondo behye wonkom no bema wakwankyere se ye kase ye pe ye problems mu nyansa eno ne ma ekwan beda ho ma obonsan ebeburem not the ideas. Some ideas ebe wura yetlim. Inti sa samoto yen ya de say let us focus. Let us focus. Let us fixate. Fixate is a heavier word. And no more stronger word. Say focus. No. Until I use the word fixate. No. Let us fixate on the Lord. For what you need? And we should and the woman in our fatu brother so. So we are say distractions na a war mono. The ebechi wajini free so no na erade and a washeno. Ni nim say Job ni yire ekrampo ni yikrampo ewo Job chapter 2 verse 9 and 10 no ni yire kra tu no for say die wo komo die adenti na wo no me Nyankopon na wo ni yire ede ideas obonsam fa de yire so e try so ode adwemfi e be hye ni because na yire no na or try so be make sense of the air person we who say ade air person nyanse bibi ni nti adenti na Job won do me nyame na won ne na fofo na bebe sra no kra so wo mu so kra no na chese wo mu ebie window ama obonsam aba bewrem nti se ukọ problem mu a mo me enye mindful wo fo mu a etwa ye ho ahia ene ensem a wo mo eka. Let us be mindful because sometimes no ya na wo mu bie window ema obonsam ebe edi ideas ebe bewrem na ye de was as a Christopher ene nyame ma no de was ya ne say was ye twi adwene ejina Christo so was ye fixate on Nyankopon in our time of predicament. Na ye nyina ye nim Job story no say enana say o fixate on the Lord o twi adwene nyine susu ye nyina si ewrade so na wentie ensama na ekoso around him nintino Onyankopon esan hye na nemu na de wode ma no na ebrode da enka no wo no so emma wode ma no na emma no ho fechen wo ma na omuka baby no. Ye second story no ye be fa no wo Matthew chapter 14 verse 25 to 32. Me pa mo cho making kind what the mayen say. Also now in the fourth watch of the night Jesus went to them walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, "It is a ghost." And they cried out for fear. But immediately Jesus spoke to them, saying, "Be of good cheer. It is I. Do not be afraid." And Peter answered him and said, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water." He said, "Come." And when Peter had come down out of the boat, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw that the wind was boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried out, saying, "Lord, save me." Verse 31. And immediately Jesus stretched out his hand and caught him and said to him, "O ye of little faith, why did you doubt?" And when they got into the boat, the wind ceased. Amen. Sa story is so ye abra Jesus born in Payeria na wokushia nesuafo no na nesuafo no no wo moti boat but na omodu eponin finfin nti Jesus enantel nsuo no so wokushia wo mo na bra wo hu se obi na mo nsuo no so wosumu no wo mo ka se eye osaman nti na wo mo shu na Jesus tie mo ka chiro mo se ma mo shu na ye me erade nti Peter ka se erade se ye wo a ene ye to won safre me na me mbra won chen na Jesus ka se bra nti Peter esi nsuo no enante nsuo no so se wo koshia Jesus. Na it was our story you know. You who say Brad Peter edine nice zoom sabre no na dwene edine ni susu ye nyina esi Awurade so. His eyes were fixated on the Lord. He was focused on Jesus. Enti no wotimi nante nsuo no so kakra. Nemo a true set what try say will be making sense of what he was doing. Or try say will be pe ade na wo ye no will be pe munyansa no. Na wo manadwene free Yesu so. Na dwen fi Awurade so no pe no. E ho no hu sese na enframa ebo na no odenti. Wo fia sese wo suroye. Wo nya doubt. Na dwen ni focus fi Yesu so abo hu e ma no hu se enframa ebo ba. It wo nya doubt. Prekope na wo fia say amen, because he was trying to make sense of what he was doing. Because naturally no, it doesn't make sense. Say ni pabe na so. It doesn't make sense. But not eradicated. It made a lot of sense to him. Inti no abreni na no. Ewo ye dada brabo mu no. Any problems he to yen any de ye fam nyina no. Ewo sa abreni na ye fixate on Nyankopon. Ye de yadwene any ye nsusu ye focus on Nyankopon. Because the moment wo be yi wani efi Awurade so, wo bo se na wadwene enenam. Nti sama wadwene na nenam wo so obonsam be started the doubt era utrim ne fedie. What started say ukope eniema ho anu yi. Obi beka say it's easier said than done. Emre say ye beka sense say ye beye. Ai eye no kreza. Ai ene edin pa edin. If you say ye nipa say asam etro yen ya na ye pese yeti ase. You want to make sense of what is going on. And also so and the kofa problems ebreye. Ai wadwen be kwa akone na nenam. Nti to da ne me bi be cross wadwen. Na mom de me kan se ba ne sampo a ya na yembo ye hu modern say we catch ourselves early enough. Yebe chi yadwene efri de ye edwene no so abesi Awurade so. Let's catch ourselves early enough. Abra Peter na wo mem wo nsu no no. Wo realize say wo mem no prekope ose Awurade jeme. Instantly, immediately, ena Awurade eje no. It is a yadwene drift ya prekope yanka say Awurade jeme. Natwe wadwene asentina Awurade so. Job abra ne yire no eka say de who said de so no enye normal no or se curse God and die. Prekope Job who say obonsam e di bibi be wura ne tirimpe or rebuke ne yire no. Say adentina wakasa sese be kwase aba. So o rebuke no enti prekope no na waso anu no watwe wadwene asabegina Awurade so we say ye nipa nkosi na ahwe a wadwen ebe drift kakra de ekoso no wo bedwene ho kakra de ekoso no bepese wo benya mu ntiase kakra but wonya hu se wo drift akosa side na bomodi ana ma wadwene emra wo ho so ene efesu so yenye mindful of wo mu a etwa ye ho ahia se asam to yenya yenye mindful of wo mu kasa wo mu utterances in some wo mbeka because obi betimi atwe wadwene akogina bibi so a eni se bebia eni se wadwene kokogina obonsam betimi ayusu obi asamuka atwe wadwene akobebia Nyankopon empese wo beko na mo se ye bomode na se ye twe adwene gina Awurade so ye fixate on Awurade ye focus on Awurade ye attention nyina e wo Awurade so a ye be ye nkunimdifo ye be te say Job ewe ye bre no se ne Nyankopon esa hye na na mu kura ma ne chen de na wo no so ana se be say Peter one drowning oka se Awurade jeme prekope Awurade tene ne nsa a wo che no na de mekane se etise obi a wo driving na ni deda oye nosy kakra Omo so bi bonyoma esa wo ne store ni mu atwe ne konkohwe omo se nkofo mi no kontokwa no atwe ne konkohwe tese ne ni nda kwa no so onye fixated on the road now wonam so no eno sa no se obi twa wa na emu a ana so obi cross wa hwa wo de bebo no na de bo na obesa etwi afa no so se ka bi mu na wo de bekwa akobo a obesa pia ka do kwa mo no so de akobo bibi fufuru mu Nemo say we are fixated on the road. Watching and no concentration in our road and our drivers so now. Say bibi cross so nipa na be cross aboa na be cross wo se preko peno you would apply brake now be apply no so wo de be bo oni akono kra na so de be bo aboa no kra na impact no enye kese te se na wadwen eni kwa no so ana se kra bi na wo de be bo no kra na wo bo ka na impact no enye kese ti se die na wadwene enna kwa no so nti ano pe me de masamu ba wie no de me ka no se Christopher na memma abreni na mo me mbo ye hu modern se ye betwen adwene egina Awurade so abreni na mpo se ye find ye hu se ye driftia ana se ye focus no anas efi Awurade so a let us catch ourselves early enough mama ye ni mbra ye ho so ntem ni ensan entwi ya dwene ensi Awurade so Nyankopon inshira kakre so ema ye ebonedi mu nti amen.